Ming Lee, and I'm joined by my colleague on our marketing team, Chelsea Briggs. This webinar is the third of a four-part series where we will be discussing how to best leverage the core features of the RelSci platform. Today, we will do a deep dive into RelSci profiles and our 360 alerts tool. RelSci profiles provide deep information on the 3.5 million people and 1 million organizations in RelSci's database. With our profiles, you're able to gain key insights into things like work history and board information on individuals, and access key information on organizations such as recent transactions. Additionally, the 360 Alerts tool, a business alerting service, will allow you to stay informed and up to date on the people and companies you care about the most. Get to know the people you care about even better, increase your chance of winning new business, and find reasons to connect and reconnect and make every interaction warm with smart intelligence. As we get started, feel free to submit any questions through the chat feature, and we will answer them at the end. Let's start by diving into RelSci profiles and point out all the information relationship science collects on an individual or company. To start, let's type in the name of an individual up top. In this case, I want to look at Warren Buffett. Once we see his name come up, click in, and you'll be taken to his profile. The first thing you will see is if there's any recent news on this person on this top banner. I can scroll here to the right or to the left using these arrows, and for any article I'm interested in reading a bit more on, I can click in and read it in full. To the left, you'll see the number of people we believe Warren has access to, so 1651, as well as some brief highlights on him. So he's won 44 awards, sits on 12 boards, and here's his net worth estimate of $43 billion. Moving directly to the right of that, you'll find any common relationships or a path to Warren. Clicking See All My Paths loads our Pathfinder tool, and in this case, I can see that I know Frank Bennett Jr., we think has access to Warren through the next module you will see is Warren's relationship summary. You can click into his fuel relationship summary by clicking the See All here. Such as family, education, memberships, career information, including dates and progression. You'll also see boards and committees he serves on. So I get further down the page, and that starts with corporate boards. And we'll get down to nonprofit boards as well. And eventually you'll get to donations, the value of his public holdings, who his clients are, awards and honors he's received, and then events that he's attended or spoken at as well. So that's what a full profile looks like. And I just want to mention that not all RelSci profiles will contain this level of data, as it depends on what RelSci can collect via public sources. Next, I'm going to walk you through to a company profile. So I'll come back up here. I'm actually going to click into Berkshire Hathaway and load up that profile for you. Below, you'll find similar information. So up top, here's recent news, which I can again scroll through and click into any article. On the left, you'll see information like their revenue, employees, market cap, and so on. And moving down, I'll get to my shortest path as well as my colleague's shortest path to someone influential at the company. Moving down from there, there's a quick about section, a summary of who the key executives are, as well as the board of directors. And anything in blue you can click on, it will lead to another profile. Who their owners and shareholders are, so that's insider holders, institutional holders. And then other information like recent transactions they've worked on, who their common transaction advisors are, who their clients are, subsidiaries, suppliers, and then basic financial stats. So that's the type of information that we'll pick up on a company. Now let's discuss a couple of ways that these profiles can be leveraged. So let's say you're about to go to a meeting and want insight on the individual you're meeting with. I'm going to click back into Warren Buffett's profile. So let's say that he's my client, and I want to better understand a little bit more about him. So where he works, what boards he sits on that I'm scrolling on right now, And more importantly, I want to find my common relationships. to make sure that my interaction is warm. Up here, there's a report button that I can click on those exact modules that I'm interested in receiving, print it or download into a PDF, and once that comes up, it's going to give me exactly what I need that I can then print out and prep for a meeting with. Similarly, if you have or iPhone or Android app or iPad app, you can load up any profile on your phone and view this all in full. Number two, if you're looking for referrals or introductions, you can pull up someone's relationship summary. So let's say, again, if Bourne is my client, I can see who he has access to. So I'll scroll down a little bit, and here's his top 8 relationships. And if I want to see who else he knows, I'll click See All, and I'll get that full listing of the 1,600 people that we think he has access to, listed strong first, then down to average and more weak. And our clients find this especially helpful. So, let's say I'm meeting with Warren next week, and I want to find one good introduction he can get me to. I can scroll through this and say, oh, it looks like he has a strong relationship with Barry Diller, and how and why. It's because they might know each other through Coca-Cola, Graham Holdings, and the Giving Pledge. I go back to Warren and see if I can leverage him for that introduction. Or clients tell us that this is also really helpful for doing reference checks on potential board members and hires as well. Number 3, let's say you're hosting an event and looking for some individuals to invite. You can search back for an organization profile of either a client or an advisor of yours to see who at the firm would be an ideal attendee. So I'll pull up Berkshire Hathaway again, and I can quickly scroll down to their key executives and get a sense around who might be a good candidate to invite. So maybe I'm interested in inviting Mark, their CFO, and I can load up a profile on him and then find my path or connection to Mark as well. Number 4, let's say you're looking to understand who else has advised your client or prospect on some recent deals. I'll scroll down the page, and earlier you saw transactions. So here's the transaction summary, which is the most recent transactions we have listed. And then eventually you get down to transaction advisors. And down here, I'll click See All, and that will give me a listing of anyone that's advised them on a recent deal. And then it gives me, and then I can open up transactions as well. So if I wanted to see what deals they advised them on here, I can quickly see and learn about these transactions in a little bit more detail. Same thing, I can click See All Participants and get a sense around who served on this deal. Now, let's focus on our 360 Alerts tool. So I'm going to go back to our home page. And 360 Alerts is our business alerting service that helps you to stay on top of your relationships. We've heard from our clients how challenging it is to keep up on news around their contacts, and we wanted to help solve that problem. So by default, the tool will send you a once-a-day email highlighting when any of your relationships are named in the news, or if you picked up a recent donation, liquidity event, or even a job or board change, like in this instance with Roger. Our clients have found a lot of success in using 360 Alerts as it allows them to stay on top of those they care about most. There are also a number of ways that clients can use and customize 360 Alerts. For example, you'll see below here that I've enabled alerts for my happy clients list. You can turn on news alerts for any list stored within your RelSci account. Clients find this to be a valuable way to receive news on clients, prospects, portfolio companies, and even their own board members or employees. I'll show you how to access your alert settings, so you can drop down your name on the top right, click on My 360 Alert Settings, and from here, you can manage any alerts. So you can turn on alerts for any list that you have, and you can enable it either on your alert feed, which is your home page, or have it as part of your daily email digest as well. So that's where you manage your alerts. Within 360 Alerts that you can access here on the right, you can also create any topical alerts. So as an example here, if I'm a wealth manager and I want to find individuals that have recently sold large amounts of stock, I can search for insider transactions, just like this, click onto the topic, hit search, and then it's going to give me a listing of different individuals who have recently sold their shares of stock or purchased as well. So any liquidity event. I can create a 360 alert, call it insider transactions, and then hit save to add that to my digest to get it both in email as well as on my homepage. Another example on what you can do with 360 Alerts is you can use it to get smart on any person or company you're meeting with. Earlier on Warren Buffett's profile, you saw that there were articles on him up top, but you can also search within 360 Alert. So I'll just click on it again, and this time I'll type in a name. So I'll type in Henry Kravis. And if I search for news on an individual, it will give me a scrolling news feed on recent articles where he was explicitly named in the news. So here's a recent article where Henry was named. I can click in, I can read a bit more. But up top, I want to point out this extended news feature. So if I flag this on, it gives me extended news on him as well. So if I scroll further down, this is news that's related to any company or board that he sits on. So here's news articles on First Data Corporation, where we can see that Henry is a board member on, and here's 3 recent articles on First Data. I now would like to open up the group to any questions you might have. I'll hand it off to Chelsea to read some questions that you've submitted.
Great, thanks, Qiming. So the first question that we have today is, how can I request a profile of someone that I am not able to search for in the system?
Sure, so if you're searching up top in this search bar, and he's not coming up or she's not coming up, hit the RelSci Services button and let us know who it is. So all we need is just a little bit of context. So for example, hi, I'm looking for Mike Smith. He is a VP at Microsoft. So you can type in something short and sweet like that, just a little sense on who they are, hit submit, and that will go to a member of our client support team. Once our research team has had a chance to review it, so typically within 24 to 48 hours, you'll hear back from us with a link to Mike's new profile.
Great, next question. How do I share news articles that are alerted to me in my account?
Sure, so I'll click into this article as an example, and the first thing kind of while this loads that I'll hit up top is this specific hyperlink that you can use. You can copy and paste it, and you could email it to any other colleague that has RelSci access. If they click on the link, it will bring them directly to the article, and they'll see the same page as well. You could always print this as well, or you can even copy and paste it into an email and send it to any of your colleagues.
Great. Next question. What sources does RelSci use for generating all these news alerts?
Sure. So we have a partnership with LexisNexis, where we're currently pulling from about 60 sources that they use. And whenever you click on an article, you'll see the source. So in this case, this is Business Wire. This one down below is Chicago Sun-Times. But we also create a lot of our own headlines. So any board or employment change that we see, that we pick up, you'll get a headline on that as well, including some of the insider transactions that we showed you earlier.
All right, and then last question. How far back did the 360 alerts go for news?
Sure, so we started building out news in the summer of 2013. So news starts around midsummer last year. If you are looking for news that goes a bit further back on our person or company, you can always hit RelSci Services, ask us how far back, just let us know how far back you want to see news on, submit it, and we'll get our team to tag some more news for you.
Great.
If we didn't have time to get to your question, a member of your account team will be in touch with you shortly to address it. Thanks for joining us. We hope that you will find RelSci profiles and 360 alerts to be a powerful resource you can use to gain deep intelligence on those who matter to you most. Look out for an invite to our 4th webinar featuring our discovery tool on August 20th. Thanks again.